Welcome back to Mom's Time Out. Here we are again, another episode, ladies.
Happy spring. We're
Happy
really
spring.
in
Finally,
spring now.
finally.
Yeah, so many things happening. The sun's finally, well, not tonight, but it's coming out.
Yes.
Lots of school activities, right? Winding
Sports have
down.
started. The spring sports have started, which is so fun.
So fun.
I actually think it's fun because I don't have to watch my daughter play her spring sport because it's golf and she just does it on her own.
But you still have to schlep and Uber.
Oh,
and
yeah,
do
yeah,
all
yes.
of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Uber.
Yeah, we
Uber
do.
mom.
Yes.
Yes. I was
But,
actually telling somebody at work the other day, I said, okay, I'm off to go Ubering. And she's like, you Uber
Ubering.
on the side too.
Yeah, it's called Mom.
I go,
Yeah.
and also Uber Eats too.
Uber Eats.
Sometimes when we stop at
Uber
Panera,
Eats,
you know, yeah.
Uber Dog.
Yeah.
When's Uber Kids coming out? Is when we should start it.
I know.
Ooh.
Cammy, you say
Anybody
that
want
every episode.
I say that every episode.
I
We need an
know.
Uber Kids.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's so much happening, I think, in West Hartford Center. Everyone's out. I see more people. You know, people tend to hibernate.
Yes.
And now,
Yeah, and they're all coming
just
out.
even through Blueback Square in the
Right.
center this past
Right.
weekend.
Yes.
So does anybody have anything fun planned for the spring? Do we have any new
Well,
activities
you
going
know, there's lots of stuff. There's the walk in the parks coming up at the Bushnell. We've got some graduations personally,
gonna say.
and birthday parties, and 18th and
graduations?
high school graduations. It's crazy.
And college graduations?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
this month.
Really? Oh,
right,
so
you
we're a
got
big
it.
party? So we're going to have a big party?
I think everyone should come to Bay Path during the Mass Mutual Center, actually.
and hold up a sign that says
Okay.
"Go Adrian."
All right, we will.
Well, you know,
I'll
they
be there.
invite all of the graduates if they want to walk, and a lot of the non-traditional graduates don't walk. I'm like, help? Yes, I'm walking.
Yeah.
Yes, of
And
course.
I want the robe, and I want the cords. I want
You
everything.
deserve it. You deserve that.
And you know, I think with spring comes a renewed sense of self. People are out there, either they're walking or they're eating healthier, and I
Right.
feel like they're sort of reinventing themselves.
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit,
Better
you know,
version
and-
of themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
and
and
that's
you know,
the best thing to
we,
do. Spring.
absolutely.
Awakening.
Awakening. And as moms, I feel like we are constantly, I don't know if it's reinventing themselves or putting more effort into things or changing who we are
Right.
to
So we're constantly reinventing ourselves.
course.
We all
So.
are, right?
Daily. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that it leads into our guest who's coming on next, who
Yes.
is amazing, Susan Lang with Lane Changers,
she'll talk about how she reinvents herself and how
and how she can help others.
reinvent themselves. Absolutely.
So we'll be right back with our guest, Susan.
We'll drink a little bit of champagne in the meantime.
Stay tuned.
Champagne, no wine.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our show. I am so excited to have one of my dear friends, Susan Lang, on with us today. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming. So I want to tell you a little bit about Susan. There is a lot to tell. So I'm going to try to give you a little snippet, and then Susan will get into it a little bit more. And Susan and I have had the privilege of working together on some community things recently. So Susan Lane is the founder and owner of her brand new company, Lane Changers. And that is a new consulting and coaching company which provides strategy and action plans for small businesses and nonprofits to increase their revenue, help them with their fundraising goals, and overall community relations. Individuals and groups benefit from health and life coaching programs to achieve their personal best, right, and reinvent themselves, like we were talking about earlier, sort of like the best of themselves. Susan sits on a numerous amount of committees that I could list them all, but how many are there, Susan?
There's plenty.
I know for sure she is also on the board of directors for Special Olympics, the Kidney Foundation, and there's one other.
Camp Current.
Camp Current, that's right. And you've been doing that for a while.
Yes, I have.
So Susan is with us today, and we are so excited to dive in. She's a mom, she's a grandma, which is crazy because you are so young.
Well, thank you.
And we have to hear all about your exciting new business,
Yeah.
and we're so happy to have you. So welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers. It's great to be here.
And cheers to launching your new business. We're
Yes.
excited to have you on and talk about it.
It is quite an interesting ride when you venture off onto something like this. Talk about reinventing yourself.
Right.
It's a wild ride, but it's one that is very rewarding
Yes.
as well.
So I guess my first question would be is what made you decide one day you wake up and say, you know, I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I'm just going to go out and do it on my own.
Well, you know, things started to change where I was working, and all good, but it started to prompt me that it was the time to really think about making something new for myself. And I'd wanted to do something on my own for many years, and it involves going out and speaking, publicly to encourage and inspire people to become their best, and share a little bit about my story, how I've overcome obstacles. And I just thought, well, I'm not getting any younger. And now's the time. I'm in good health, and I can get out there and do something to really make an impact. And I've got people that support me and want to see it succeed. So
Absolutely. And you
Yeah.
came from the corporate world.
I did.
Which is often a struggle for people, I know for myself included, to make that transition. And you're really following your passion. And now you've sort of created this company that you're able to do that,
Right.
and that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because I wanted to do something, but you get comfortable.
Right.
And when you're in that comfortable space, you think, well, should I even bother? Should I
Right,
do
right,
that?
right.
But when you believe in yourself and you're going to do something that you feel very passionate about, then you take that risk and say it's worth it. And I knew I had people supporting me. I had other people encouraging and saying, this is right in your wheelhouse. This is something that you can really do. And I care so much about people. That's why I get involved in boards and committees and doing things for the community, because if I can be involved in helping somebody, whether it be something small or something huge, that makes me feel good. And it's nice to know that I can leave a mark somehow in somebody's life that way.
And Susan, you had said that you've talked from experience. You've had some challenges, or something that you can share with us, or like what are some of the things you may talk to people about?
Sure. Well, breast cancer is one of them. I'm a 17-year survivor, and actually
Cheers.
that's
I know.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Well, that's how
Cheers.
Cammie and I
That's
got to know
right,
each
that's
other,
right.
because
Okay.
we walked in the Blueback Square.
Yeah, the pink party.
Yeah,
for
pink
Susan
party.
G. Yep.
So it's to know that I've overcome that, and the support that I got from people during that difficult time, knowing that friends and family were there for me, it just reinforces that voice inside of me that says I can help somebody.
Right.
And to talk about when you've hit some lows, whatever that low might be, and I've overcome depression. I went through that, and it was very, very hard. And that's not something that people want to talk about.
Right.
But when you can be very transparent and say, I've been there, I understand what that's like, you give power to other people and allow them to be true to who they are and think that they now can have hope. And that's the biggest thing, is if I can instill hope in somebody, whether they're battling a disease or they're facing some sort of loss or there's a struggle,
Right.
but if they can say, well, if she did it, I can do it too.
Absolutely.
Then that's very rewarding.
And I think not everybody has the support that you may have had. So
That's
I think
true.
by you being there and saying, I'm here. Like, if I'm here and I did it, and you may not have the support around you, let me be
But
that
I can be
support.
there.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's so
That is true.
important.
So Susan, talk to us a little bit about the business. So how
I
does
love
it?
the
Yeah,
name.
what it's all
Yes,
about. What is it all
perfect
about?
name.
Yeah.
But how does it connect? So you're consulting, but you're also coaching.
Right, yes. Well, the coaching is very personal for me, because I started out wanting to be a psychiatrist or psychologist. I was going through school to do that. My degree is in psychology. I care so much about helping people transform their lives and
Right.
overcome problems and difficulties. And so now I had that opportunity, and I'm thinking, life coaching, help people to see where are they getting stuck, because we all get stuck.
Right.
You're talking about
Absolutely.
reinventing yourself. It's because you feel stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
And what do you need to do?
That's
and
true. That's a good way to look at it. You're just
Right.
stuck.
Yeah.
It's a temporary, like it can be a temporary thing. It's not-
Exactly. And it's not because you're faulty or there's something wrong with you, but
Right.
we often don't see our blind spots. It
Right.
takes somebody else that can say, I see this here, and you're not bad, you're not broken, this
Right.
is what maybe you're not seeing, and how can we help you overcome that? And finding what gets you stuck, what keeps you stuck,
Right.
and then have that voice of somebody that cares very much about you,
Right.
to say, here's some steps to take, here's something. They're not tied emotionally to it. I won't be tied emotionally to somebody else's pain. I care very much, but I
Right.
can see something and say, well, why don't you try this? And give them tools to navigate through whatever those rough waters are. And I've had people do that for me. And
So
I
your
could-
life coaching is part of your, as Cammie said, that's part of your new
Right.
launching of this new aspect. And the other piece is the consulting.
Yeah, so the consulting, that stems really from what I was doing in the corporate
know,
world,
right.
where I was so fortunate to work in a company where it took my passion and their philanthropic giving And I was able to learn about all these nonprofits and what they do.
That
in
was with the Hoffman
community.
Auto Group,
It
right?
was.
Yes.
We should mention
yes.
because Bradley and Jeffrey are wonderful community
Yes.
supporters.
They
Yes.
have
Not only in West Hartford,
Yes.
but throughout
Right.
Avon, throughout Greater Hartford, I think throughout Connecticut. actually.
really through Connecticut, yeah. And I had been so blessed to work with them because they allowed me to grow my skill set and my passions. I mean, who would think that I would be able to do what I did at an automotive dealer?
Right.
But
Wow.
because of who they are and what they do in the community and how much
Absolutely.
they care,
Right.
we were able to really develop that further and then take my passion for people and their giving and say, how do we make sure that what they're doing is impacting in a way that helps them as well? Because the better they do, the better
Such
the
a role
community
model.
does.
I think
Right.
every for-profit business could learn a lot from the Hoffman Auto Group. Not to
Right.
say that there's not 1,000 great for-profit companies, but coming from a nonprofit background,
Mm-hmm.
I think that they do such a great job in making sure that the
Yes.
impact is felt.
Right, and because they really care, and I think
Right.
it's been so special to work for a family-owned business, and they're in the 4th generation, so
Right.
really they care about the community. They're embedded in the community, and then they took what I was passionate about and allowed me to run with it, and that enabled me to learn how to set some strategies. How do you make sure that the for-profit, that company, is benefiting too? It's not self-serving, but it's something where they're doing something to help the community so that they also thrive. Their
course,
business
of
thrives
course.
more when the community's thriving.
Right.
And I think nonprofits could learn from you if you're going in and saying, that's great that you have the sponsorship package or that you really want someone to invest in your XYZ charity. But what is in it? Like, how can we make sure it's an equal partnership?
Yes.
And they may not see that side of that.
Right, and that's why with my consulting company now, that's what I want to do on both sides of the coin, to help a nonprofit organization really look at their donor base, individuals as well as the corporate world, and say, how are we making sure that they feel our appreciation and that we're a partner in this, not just handing out a check on the corporate side or receiving that check on the nonprofit side, but
Right.
how is this a partnership so that even the employees in those companies understand what is the mission
Yeah.
and how can they get behind it if
So
it matters to
important.
them.
Absolutely. And you
Yeah.
don't think of a car
Right.
maker in that space, really.
Right.
And so to have some, that family who really likes doing that, they deeply care, and then their employees follow suit as well, right?
It's true. And I used to joke around and say to Bradley Hoffman, whoever thought I would be in the automotive industry? And he said, you're not. You're in the people business.
Right.
And it's true. That's really what I
See,
I
that's
started
why
in the
they're
sales.
so good at what they do. is
Yes.
Because that's how they view what they're doing as well. And they
Right.
are.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And really what you were able to see in where my connections were is only the tip of the iceberg, really, for what they were doing. So I was energized every day by what my role was there to be partnering with them in what they were doing.
But it takes a special person like you. I mean, really, because you have the passion for what you're doing and
Yes.
for people.
Right.
So you're on the same. So
And clearly the energy.
I was going to say exactly. So some
Yes.
of your charities that you're involved with, so Special Olympics.
Yes.
yeah. Let's-
So
let's-
Special
let's-
Olympics, I'm on the
Yes.
board, and I love
Are
to
you
go
really?
to.
Wow.
Yeah, I love to go to the events and partner with all the other companies that really make it
Sponsor
special
it,
for the
right.
athletes and their families.
Right,
You know,
right.
It's a family affair, and
Right.
it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
So we talk a lot here about juggling, and you can
Yes.
share your story. You're a mom. I can't believe you're a grandmother because I
Yes.
don't think anybody would believe that.
Yes. Sometimes people think that she's my daughter.
Oh,
but-
I'm sure. I know.
yeah.
But how are you juggling? I mean, it's probably very nice and timely that you are able to have your own business so you can sort of you have the flexibility.
But launching it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It does, and I think that's something too. I'll be speaking to women at a women's summit soon on an entrepreneurial panel, and really that's something for people to be aware of. It's a fabulous adventure to go out and start something that's your own, but to really have a solid support structure in place because it's a wild ride.
Right.
There's highs and lows on a daily basis.
Right.
And there's things that you don't expect. Like when you buy a house, you think, oh, this is all set, and then all of a sudden there's more money that you have to give, and there's more of this.
Right.
And that happens with something like this too. But to have good people that have been there before that can say, here's some things to think about.
Right.
But it is juggling. And because my daughter's older, my daughter's 23, so I don't have young kids at home. When I have my granddaughter, that's it. That's what I'm
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
It's her.
Right.
You can focus solely on being a grandma.
Right. So it's more challenging. If my daughter was younger, this would not be the time to be doing something like this.
Right,
As a
right.
single woman, it's time consuming.
It's very time consuming.
So,
yes.
but I do have a lot of energy, and I was sick recently, and that knocked
Yes,
me out.
yes.
Who has time for that? I don't have time for that.
No time.
Right.
I know you just pulled me into. We're doing the Habitat for Humanity,
Yes.
which I'm excited about. And our
What
team
is that?
called
What is that?
Drills.
It
what's
nails, boots, and power tools.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's so cool.
So
Well,
what are
I
you
did
doing
it-
with that?
So about
We're
4
building.
years. Yeah, we're
Building.
building some houses.
Yep,
yes,
building some
in
houses.
Hartford.
Oh, nice.
It is wonderful. So every year, Habitat for Humanity does Women Build.
Okay.
It's
I think
specifically for-
Ronnie was on that. I saw.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
And she's done it with me at least 2 years. And I saw an ad in the Hartford Business Journal for it one year. I thought, well, that sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I'll see if I can get some women together. So I reached out to women at Hoffman, and a couple of the Hoffman women joined as well.
Right.
And so I had 2 teams of 12 and thought, this was great. Let's do this again. So the next year I had 30 or so women. And last year my goal was to have 100, and I had 60. But some of the women that were on my team before started their own team. So I thought,
Right.
well, I think maybe
You brought them in. That counts.
but that's so really it's exciting because it's women coming together, whether you've had experience picking up a
absolutely.
tool or not. It really doesn't matter. It's going and working with the soon to be homeowners too. They have sweat equity in this. This is not a handout. This is a hand up, and they have to work as well and learn what it's like to to
Right.
work in the home. And it's really rewarding. So we'll have 22 women on
Right,
my
and we're
team.
all I'll be totally out of my element,
Yes.
and I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and that just is just a testament to how you seem to pull people in
And
to
I think that's
be
why it
able to
works.
do
I think
that.
Right.
that's because
Yes.
you're doing it as a team.
Yes.
Right, and that's what women are really great about is organizing.
Right.
We're very good at multitasking.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
absolutely.
Organizing and doing it together as a team for the common good.
Right.
And so, so if people want to, someone's watching or they see us on social media with you and they're like, God, I'm just stuck. I'm not really sure what to do. How can people get in touch with you? What's the best? I mean, are you up and ready to start meeting with women? Or
I'm
is it
ready
just
to-
women? Is it just women? Are
Well-
you meeting with both?
Well, my coaching business will primarily focus on women, just because that's where my passion is
Right,
to help
right.
women, because that's how I can relate with some of my stories. But if I can help anybody, I will. But really, that's going to be the focus in both the life and health coaching.
Okay.
So how can people find you? Do you have a website? Do you want to share
I
it?
do have a website. I'm not sure if it's going to be launched at that time because it takes a long
Okay.
time.
Okay. Well, we
But
can post that on our social media, and we
Right.
also have
Yes.
your beautiful logo that's going to be coming up on the screen with your
Yes.
picture.
Yeah, so the goal is to have the website up and running, but certainly people can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm all over social media.
We know.
That's
Yes.
Susan
Yeah, I
Lane
see
or
you.
Lane
Right.
Changers.
Susan L. Lane.
And
That's the best way
Susan's
to
the type
find
of
me.
person, if you just pick up social media and you know nothing, or you just happen to come across, she'll just be sitting in her living room and decide one day that she wants to influence people and help whoever seems to go on her feed and talk about, be the change, or
Topic of
you
the
can
day,
do it, and don't doubt yourself. And
Yeah.
she'll just casually talk about it, and you feel like inspired and
Right.
energized.
After
and
listening to your
you're
little short
done,
videos,
and you're-
I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
this is awesome.
and you're just ready for the day. So I
Yeah.
think a TV show would be fantastic.
That is
Or-
actually the goal.
Yeah.
I do have a Facebook page that's very active called Be Simply Inspirational, and I have a website.
Okay, so
that
what's that called then?
Be Simply Inspirational.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We can encourage, we'll
Yes.
share that on our social media.
That would be great because really,
enjoy
I started that because I'd go on Facebook and what did you see?
Negative stuff, right.
complaining,
Politics
blah.
and-
And I just got tired of that, and I thought,
Right.
I can't stop it, but I can drown it out. I can do
love it.
drown out the dribble is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I started cultivating and curating funny, inspiring, happy, uplifting, nothing negative.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'm just going to start posting this. And now there's over like 33,000 followers on this, and they share it all the time. And people.
Oh, I love it.
And so I have a website for it too, and I just need the time to
Yes.
write
Yes.
because the videos that you enjoy, that's really what I want people to share with me.
Yes.
It's not my show. I want people to say, I've got an inspiring story for you. Let me tell
Right.
you about this, and let me share all the positive things that are going on around, because I don't think we hear enough of that.
That's true, and I feel like you just exude that positivity, and it's so genuine.
Right.
Because there's so many people that really, and they try, but they're not. I don't know. I just feel like you're so genuine. I
We
mean,
like positive
you know,
Positive, yeah.
I mean, I think even when
Positive, there's a lot more
I was
positive
in
in
Puerto
this
Rico
world.
a couple years ago,
Yes.
volunteering for the
yeah.
hurricane victims, she messaged me, and I didn't really even know her that well, and she was, I can't believe you're there. I want to know all about it. This is amazing, and I was like, who is this person? I need to know her. So I just.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Adore
so much
you.
for sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are
Like,
excited to have you.
Absolutely.
And
Before we close, is there one piece of advice, I guess, that you could give women out there who are, I don't know, kind of stuck, I guess, stuck?
I would say do not be afraid to sit with it. And don't wallow in it, but don't be afraid to talk to people. Be transparent and genuine, but find the right people. I think sometimes people will share too much of what's going
Overshare.
on. And,
Yeah.
and it comes from a place that they're looking for help, but not everybody deserves to hear your story.
Right.
Not everybody deserves to hear your pain, not because they don't care, but a lot of people don't know really how to help. And I have a friend who shared something recently. She saw somebody post something, and it's easy to say, oh, hang in there, you've got this, and you mean well.
Right.
But sometimes that's not going to really help.
Right.
So find the people. If you're stuck, find somebody that you know is going to give you good advice, that's really going to come
like
out of a place.
Susan Lane.
And you know what?
Susan L. Lane.
Susan L. Lane. If I don't know somebody and they come to me and they have something going on, I will do anything I can to help.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I was sharing with you earlier, somebody said to me today, I'm in a place and I'm going to reinvent myself, and I really want to take some time and figure out what's right for me. And a lot of people, and I'd love to pick your brain and see if, that gives me joy, because
Right.
if I can give you one little nugget of information or the right person to go talk to,
Right.
I want to do that. And I will also tell you, if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not
Right.
going to. I will
Right.
make something up.
Well, I had the great privilege of meeting with you one-on-one just to have coffee, and it was just amazing. Awesome.
It was
just
fun.
casual
Yeah.
and great ideas and positivity, and I love that. So
Yeah, we'll have to do some more with you too, Susan.
I
I'm sure
would
we
love
yes,
that.
we'll
Oh,
have to
yes.
collaborate on
Well,
something.
cheers
Let's
to
do it.
you and
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Lane
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 Changers.
Changers.
I love that name.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank you.
Well, that was so fun.
I know.
It is.
Don't you
It's
just feel like so like,
amazing.
oh,
Yes.
She has a lot of
Yes.
energy.
I
She
know.
really, really.
Love
And
her.
I can't
And
believe
she's gorgeous.
a grandmother. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me?
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's a great resource too for the ladies in town. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
If I had somebody like that, but I actually knew somebody like that now, so I'm glad I know her. But
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
honestly, especially
So
when you want to
uplifting.
change your life, or you want to make a change, it's hard.
and I think it's nice to find supportive women.
Right.
Like
Right.
you were saying. That
Yes.
Because, being realistic, not everyone is always super supportive about your ideas or.
Find the right person to share your problems with.
I was
not just
thinking-
anybody.
That was good advice.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
so like if you're
Yeah.
in Big Y.
So I can
you're-
delete a bunch of
Like, if
people.
anybody's at the cashier at Big Y.
How you doing? Well,
Having
let
a
me tell you, I'm a
terrible
little
day.
stuck.
having a bad day.
Or the mailman, he's probably not the person. that
No,
was
no,
sharing my
no.
stories with.
But
Well,
in all reality, though, there are friends that really are, or acquaintances that trying to give the best, but really they're, like she said, you have to focus in on what's good for you, what's going to help you.
Right.
absolutely. Well, and so we have a little announcement.
We
You might have
do.
seen we changed our wine to
Champagne.
tonight,
Today
Prosecco.
we're celebrating.
Because we're celebrating a
yes,
couple things. We're celebrating our 3-year anniversary. I
Yes.
can't believe
Mom's
Mom's Time
Time
Out.
Out.
3 years.
3
Cheers,
years.
We
ladies.
started with one more
We-
though.
so cheers,
We're down to
Carol.
three.
Carol, but we miss her every day.
It's been a crazy, fun, exciting
Yes.
3
Yeah.
years.
Lots
Yeah.
of surprises, lots of
Fabulous guests.
We've met so many great people in
Oh
the
my
community.
gosh. We
And
really
and
have.
but it's been challenging because we all work full
full
time
time and we have families.
and have people in our
and are
lives.
on
Yes.
a million committees too.
And that make
Yes.
us make dinner for
Mom,
dinner?
why aren't you home?
Mm.
So with that, we've
Right.
decided.
Yeah, we're going to take a little break from our TV show. We're still going to have Mom's Time Out. We're still going to be very active on social media, and you'll still
Absolutely.
see us in the community. But we're going to take a little hiatus, a little break from the monthly television show.
Right, and we'll be out and about town and
Oh yes,
helping.
we're not going anywhere.
doing our live crazy feeds and, helping where people need us.
Yeah, where we're so grateful to West Hartford Community Television for giving us this wonderful opportunity to showcase the many talents that people have
Absolutely.
in our town, to be able to bring people
And
on.
surrounding towns that picked up
And
our show.
absolutely,
yes.
but truly, West Hartford Community Television really gave us the launching
Yes,
pad to
yes.
be able to bring the people in and around West
Right.
Hartford.
And Jen has just been amazing.
Yeah,
we
so
thank
thank you, Jen
Thank you, Jen.
Evans.
And all the volunteers.
And all the volunteers, and thank you to Blow, who does our hair and makeup, every
month,
episode.
right.
Yes.
We just don't know what to do without sometimes. Yeah.
I know.
So thank you to Jean and
Thanks,
all of the
Jean.
wonderful ladies at Blow. It really is, we should thank our husbands because they really pick up a lot of the bulk. I mean,
A lot of the
our
slack.
kids are getting older now, but it's still juggling. There's
Right,
a
of
lot of
course.
juggling
It's a lot
that
of
goes
juggling,
involved
yeah.
between coming here,
Right.
finding a guest,
Right.
researching the guest,
But I
putting
think
it all
this
together.
it is a lot of work, and I think this is just it's not a forever no. It's just a kind of a
right
pause.
now. We need
Right.
a little
As
bit
far
of
as
a break.
TV, we're doing other stuff in the community still. But when my kids, I told the girls, when my kids say to me, "Mom, you're taking another time out. Like, how about a time out here?" And I'm like, ugh,
I know.
okay.
It's hard. It's
they're
definitely hard.
still very needy.
And they still need
I have a
you.
12-year-old,
Right,
and
right.
15-year-old.
And nighttime, I think you're just seeing an hour, half an hour show, but
Right.
the time that goes into, like I said, like finding the, putting it all together.
Right, because we want to bring you the best, so we try to.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but still follow us Facebook and Instagram.
we're still
Twitter.
giving away prizes to
We're
our
gonna do
wonderful moms.
giveaways. We'll still see you on all of the community events and everything. But thank you all. We should also say thank you guys
Yes,
for
follow-
watching
and following us and liking
Yeah.
us.
Thank you to our girls and our sons and our daughters
Oh, yes.
for
For putting up with us and our crazy show.
that you
And our
watched for like a
Snapchats.
half an hour.
I wanted to make it an hour, but the girls said no.
Oh God, no, that's not.
Nobody wants to hear you for an hour, they said, Cammie.
So we'll
That's
say
fine.
our toast one last
Okay.
time.
Yes,
And I loved it. This has been so
I
fun.
know.
What a journey we've
Cheers.
been on.
Yeah, so
Mwah.
to you.
Oh. And
so
All right.
cheers, and don't forget.
Jet, you put the time in. Don't forget to take the time out.